alive. We feared the worst. Are you all right?
Shockwave is opening a space bridge to another world, rich with energy.
We cannot allow Megatron to plunder another world the way he has Cybertron.
For once, we agree.
Return to base. We will face this together.
You're weak, Optimus. You run when you should fight. I'm taking the space bridge down.
Grimlock, wait.
Grimlock. My favorite version of him, too. To this very day. Still one of the best ones. Such a refreshing take on the Dinobot commander itself. A military tactician. The Predacon slayer, if you will. He cements himself as one of the top dogs in the aligned continuity. Definitely in the top 5 at the very least, because he's not leaving that anytime soon here. But with that being said, let's get into it. How strong is he? How powerful is he? And why was he such a dangerous combatant across the board, right? Well, for starters, we're going to have to actually go through a plethora of things first. But first things first, we have to start off with someone very important to his scaling, Shockwave. Now, I think it's kind of obvious. Oh, yeah, Shockwave, right? He created him, so he knows the best about him, right? Yes, but we also have to talk about Shockwave's own brain, his own line of thinking. Shockwave bases everything on pure logic. Just everything he feels like is logical at everything. The experimentations, the details, everything. And keep in mind, Shockwave is a powerful Cybertron in his own right. So keep in mind, when Grimlock busted through Insecticons, no diddy, and was actually able to straight up drop Shockwave in one punch. Keep in mind, Shockwave was able to take attacks from characters like Ultra Magnus, Wheeljack, and Bulkhead and stuff like that. And yet Grimlock drops him in one punch. Now, another thing as well, and Cliffjumper as well, because he also fought him in Fall of Cybertron twice. Yeah, I know, crazy, ain't it? And keep in mind, Shockwave himself stated that Grimlock was such a dangerous piece that he needed to be taken off the board. He was such a vital piece to Iacon's defense that the Decepticons couldn't even get through the front lines. And keep in mind, he's there 24/7. This was actually portrayed in the Fall of Cybertron comic, where Grimlock actually organized the entirety of the Autobot army with his own men being at the front line. Sure, I know they had drones and everything, but still, you got to understand, they still had to take care of everything. They still had drones and stuff, or they were the main ones fighting. And keep in mind as well, this is important because Megatron and Onslaught were the main ones planning these attacks on Iacon. And keep in mind, the entire part of Fall of Cybertron, the entire two parts of Optimus's chapter, is because Grimlock got captured because the Decepticon army couldn't figure out a way in order to get through. This means that Grimlock not only bested Megatron, but bested Megatron when he was pulling out all the stops to try and get in through literally just the front door of Iacon. And keep in mind, none of this stuff would have happened if he was still there. So this means that Grimlock, even before he got his Dinobot, like upgrades and stuff like that, he was a threat to the likes of Megatron and Combiners. You might say, yeah, with his team and everything, but again, he's still there, isn't he? He's still there fighting at the front lines of it, the most dangerous part of a war. Now, onto when he gets his Dinobot upgrades, Shockwave actually states he represents his greatest creation. He, not them, he, Grimlock himself, represents the greatest creation that Shockwave ever made, via the scientist's own words, right? And keep in mind, this is very important, as this menace right here was creating everything just because he could. I mean, he did it because he's a scientist, yes, but again, keep in mind, he does it based on pure logic. He created the Combiners to be the pinnacle of Decepticon super soldiers. He created the Leapers, highly armored Decepticon drones. He created the Predacons, Skylynx, Darksteel, Predacon, okay? Project Predacon. All right. He created the cortical psychic patch. But again, going from a war aspect or going from the, well, soldier for soldier aspect, this means that Grimlock himself was greater than the likes of Bruticus, Devastator, and the likes of Skylynx, Darksteel, and Predacon. This means that Shockwave held Grimlock into a higher regard. Now, you might say, Legendary, why is that? Why does Shockwave basically hold Grimlock higher than any and all of his creations? Well, believe it or not, that is actually a very simple answer. He surpassed Shockwave's expectation. Now, you'd be like, Legendary, shouldn't that be impossible? Woo! That, I think Shockwave's reaction to this is legit. While he does not feel emotions, or maybe he doesn't express them as much as the online continuity, Shockwave's own words describe it as shock. Matter of fact, roll the clip.
Shockwave, you're finished!
You didn't think I'd build something so powerful such as you, and not have a way to control it. Now, sit there like a good pet while I finish my work. Megatron, I have successfully opened a bridge to the target world. The portal is stable and ready for you.
Excellent, Shockwave! Trypticon's conversion is no one holds Grimlock!
Impossible.
Shockwave himself said impossible. He calculated everything for Grimlock up to that point. Keep in mind, he did state he was monitoring progress during his Fall of Cybertron chapter, meaning he was taking notes about Grimlock's strength level, how it increased into that point here. And yet, Grimlock's strength level became so high that it was vastly above what Shockwave had calculated. And keep in mind, Shockwave stated his own words that Grimlock's entire form was dedicated to the complete annihilation of his opponents. Now, let's fast forward to Transformers Prime, Rage of the Dinobots. Grimlock and the Dinobots here are extremely weakened and hungry from the lack of energon. This means that, well, no one here is really at their full strength. So Grimlock not only being able to keep up with someone like Serket, but is also at her full strength because the Decepticons were doing kind of unsavory methods to gain energon. So with a full power Predacon, Grimlock is able to hold his own, but he knows he needs more power. This is burning through his reserves more than she is, by the way. So not only does he turn into his Tyrannosaurus form, but he straight up crunches through her armor, her alloy, mind you. Keep in mind, Predacons are vastly more durable than the likes of anybody in the Transformers verse, minus the likes of Unicron. But again, keep in mind, Optimus 2.0 and even Megatron with the Dark Starsaber are likely not as durable as a Predacon. I'm just saying here. And Grimlock here is tearing through them like a hot knife through butter, biting them, ripping their throats out, and dropping them effortlessly. Keep in mind, what it takes to put down a Predacon is the dragon armor, or these ancient weapons that were basically designed to kill Predacons, but had enough power to output black holes. Meaning the Predacons required solar system to multi-solar system levels of attack potency. And keep in mind here, Optimus had multiple cannons and then a Dragon Slayer sword possessed by the spirits of the noble dragons of, well, Earth. Likely from D&D, but, you guys already know the history of dragons in Transformers by now. So, yeah. And keep in mind, this is the weaponry needed to even be able to harm and eventually, after hard-fought battles, kill Predacons. This was also noted even in the novelizations, where it's confirmed that the original Predacon, mind you, was able to go toe-to-toe and actually stalemate the likes of Prima. Now, I do think Prima was holding back, but again, Prima still had the Star Saber and was able to still harm the likes of Predacon. Meaning that Grimlock is actually showing that he is capable of, well, matching the attack potency of one of the members of the original 13, who, as we all know, are multiversal singularities. So, with that being said, it's I don't think it should be too surprising that Grimlock would get into this complex multiversal level already. But we still have more here. You see, he would scale above the likes of Fallen Cybertron Optimus, who actually does have a complex multiversal, and you could possibly get it higher due to what it is, feat. So with that being said, I'm just going to let the clip roll and you guys enjoy the video.
I will rip the Matrix from you with my bare hands!
You want the Matrix? Take it.
Lord Megatron!
Optimus, come in. Are you there, Optimus? Roger me. Welcome me. Hello. Hello, Prime.
I am here, Jazz. Order the remaining Autobot forces to regroup at Predacon. Our struggle and all our hopes now hinge on the Ark. The Dark Spark is no longer an obstacle to us leaving Cybertron. Though I fear its terrible presence will yet be felt elsewhere.
Now, keep in mind, while Optimus had the power of the Matrix to actually burst and, launch the Dark Spark through the entirety of half of the Transformers Omniverse, this being not only his own continuity, but the Beast Wars continuity as it went to the Transtex, and then all the way, mind you, to the Bayverse continuity. So he launched it through 3 different infinitely layered multiverses and actually helped the Bayverse continuity connect to the rest of the multiverse. Now, keep in mind the Darkspark itself not only does bend space and time and even bending the reality of their universes to its will, but is also capable it's actually the concept of death is what I'm trying to say here, from the entity Mortalis. And keep in mind, this is very important because this means that higher tier Cybertronians like Optimus, Megatron, Grimlock, and I would also say things like Bruticus, Metroplex, and stuff like that, have resistance to death manipulation, space-time manipulation, okay? And this is important because Grimlock is physically superior and is flat out more durable than this younger Optimus. I would even still say more durable than the likes of TF Prime Optimus until he gets his upgrade, putting them on an equal level. And keep in mind, we already know how the Transformers cosmology works, with it having hit infinite universes, infinite multiverses, and these multiverses operating on infinite dimensional layers and stuff like that. So Grimlock being able to surpass the Darkspark, mind you, which was able to punch through not 1, not 2, but 3 infinite dimensional multiverses, puts it at a complex multiversal level. If not, you could just say it's a high complex multiversal level feat here. Keep in mind, this will put Grimlock at faster than light to immeasurable levels of speed, by the way. And then we also have, mind you, we also have the likes of, his hacks and abilities. Other than the fact that he has his fire breath, or he simply has his own, he has his fire breath, he has his sword and shield, which both hit and defend on a molecular level. Then we also have the fact that his anger also increases his physical strength, and the fact that he is a former champion of the Pits of Chaos, meaning he is one of the more skilled Cybertronians. And then his tactical prowess surpassing that of Megatron, Onslaught, and even the likes of other Autobots like Ultra, Magnus, and Jazz, who were also known for their tactical prowess. So with that being said, Fall of Cybertron Grimlock would actually be high complex multiversal. So, see you guys later. Please comment, like, and subscribe and share with your friends. And by the way, I will actually be doing Grimlock versus Broly, this version versus the one in Dragon Ball Super. So get ready for that one, and I hope you guys enjoy that video when it actually comes out. All right, so peace.